All right, everyone, thank you all so very much for joining us. Today, we're going to be talking about 2 episodes of the Wheel of Time. First, we're going to be talking about Damane, and then also Eyes Without Pity. But before we get started, do you want to kind of hip us to the title, Damane?
All right, so Damane, not at all what I was expecting, but Damane is actually a woman who can channel, but she is pretty much put in a position of servitude and is controlled. So her power is basically not her own. She's controlled, she's collared in a very much subservient position. So she's controlled by what they call the Saudon, and I hope I'm not butchering that.
I'll be tearing these names up, so I'm not gonna.
Well, speaking of the Damane, based off of what we've seen in the episode, can we speak to their particular society?
I kind of feel like it's almost a class society, but it's weird that it's focused on magic, but it's also focused on separating people into groups, magic users and non-magic users. But you would think that all the magic in this type of society, all the magic users would be of an upper class, but really and truly, it's not. It's like those that are really users of magic, they're stuck in a position of servitude, and there's no other way for them to exist. It seems it's really backwards. It really is backwards. They serve those individuals that cannot channel, and they seem to be okay with that. And they're the most powerful in the society. But yet,
doesn't it sound so familiar? Message. This sounds real familiar.
It does. And I was not expecting this turn from the story, so it got me feeling some kind of way as it relates to some of these characters and their interactions with this particular group of people. And I'm curious to see what's going to happen, how they interact with all of this when they see it in person.
Oh yeah, I saw you nodding your head a whole lot.
I'm agreeing, because this power structure, like I agree with Corey, just doesn't make logical sense, but in a sense it does, because you're so powerful. I need to keep you under control, and the way the Saudon control the Damane is like so familiar, and I'm not gonna say it. I'm just not gonna say it, but you know what I'm alluding to. So
I want you to say it. I want you to say it.
The people that came to Africa. But anyway, but it does, right? It does make for really good television, though, because it's like, oh my God, like you're watching it and you're just getting kind of angry because you've seen this happen before. The only difference is you throw magic in the mix, so you get a whole nother spin on it. But it was just interesting to see the Damane, because you're so powerful and they're out to just break your spirit. Completely just break your spirit and just kind of have you in this operant conditioning type situation, Pavlov, and all of that going on. So I thought that was really interesting.
You know what else kind of sticks out is the fact that those that own Damane are also magic users. So they own someone, quote unquote, and use them for their power, but they're also a victim of the same situation. So yet they own someone, but they're still not free themselves. Kind of like how you'd have an overseer or someone that would, I hate to use this terminology.
There's a reference again.
Yeah, there's that reference again. There was always one that was used to kind of keep up with the others.
I wanted to get that out of the way, especially because it spoke to the title. I did want to talk about some of these characters. For instance, let's talk about Moraine for a second. So in this particular episode, we saw that Moraine killed Lanfear with a sword. Just exactly how is Moraine's character changing, if at all? I wanted to get that out of the way, especially because it spoke to the title.
I don't think she has a choice, because she cannot channel right now. She's blocked, or whatever happened. Which they haven't really explained, I don't think, or maybe I missed it. But she has to be able to contribute, and she has to be able to still kind of fulfill her mission. So I guess she got to figure out another way to do it. Use her cunning and whatever else she can do, because these are some powerful beings that she's going up against, and she got to be able to do something.
She's definitely developing even more for me, because she's a crafty wench. She really is, because to be able to move as many pieces as she's moving without her powers, with being stilled, to me, Moraine is, to speak to what Corey just said, becoming even more cunning. She is. And it's like, at first I'm like, I ain't fooling with Moraine. I don't really care for her. Her and Amaryllin C got a little love affair going on, and I feel like she's a little too cute for her, but whatever. I don't know. That's something else. But
wait a minute. Which one is too cute for who? Which one is too cute for who?
I feel like the Amaryllin seed is a little too cute for Moraine. I don't know.
Is it because she has a little melanin? Is that what it is?
That ain't it.
That's
That ain't it.
That ain't it.
I don't mind the people from the Caucasoid Mountains. That's not a problem for me. Or the Caucasus.
The mountains.
Rather. That's not a problem. But I don't know.
I'm laughing because that is so correct. That's where that race came from. But I'm sorry. That's my history.
So I don't know. I don't know. But that was just a little pity that flared up right there. But I'm starting to fool with Moraine. I am. The more I watch, I'm like, okay, you're not a dumpster squirrel like I thought you were. At first,
a dumpster squirrel. You can say what you want. I'm still not a fan. I think that the way that she does things is very suspect, and she's manipulative, and I don't like her character. But if I'm in a fight, then I want her on my side, right? If I'm in a fight,
I still don't want to break bread with her.
I don't want to break bread with her. She's skeevy. I don't want to fool with her.
She would not be invited to Thanksgiving dinner.
She would not be invited to Thanksgiving. And can I just say that I love the dark characters a little bit more because at least they're a little bit more real about
Corey, you said that before, Corey. That ain't nothing new. And by the way, you mentioned something earlier. You wanted to know how she lost her powers. We told you at the end of season 1. God dog it. I want to say Lanfear so much. It's not Lanfear. Ishmael. Mm-hmm. He took her powers, and that's how. Yeah. But one of you brought it up maybe about 2-3 minutes ago. You said that even though Moraine doesn't have her powers, she's more cunning than she was before. So let's talk about Varen. Without using her powers, she was able to discover quite a lot, especially once she went to the White Tower. What are the ramifications for her particular character, understanding the fact that she was able to find out so much without using powers at all?
She's dope. I like her. You don't see her coming. You absolutely don't see her coming. She has allies as well. And knows how to maneuver and get things done. She's been around for a while, so she kind of understands how the power structure works. She knows what to say, how to say it, because she rolls up on dang it, I can't remember her name. Say it again.
Lilandra, the red one, Red Aja, towards the end.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. Mm-hmm. So she knows how to work them. I like her.
Without being caught.
Right. And she's so, and I'm glad you said without being caught. For me, she knows how to be stealth. And then she's just one of them people. It's like that warm, great auntie that, it doesn't matter what she asks for. You're going to try your best to kind of do it. So it's like she has a little clout, as the young people would say. She has a little clout. So I love her.
I love her character, and I don't know what I was expecting, but this isn't what I was expecting from her character. I thought she was going to be more of a
minor character.
Yeah, just kind of more so by the book. You do everything by the book, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I see that she knows the system, like you were saying, and she knows that something's wrong and something's going on, and she's going to get down to the bottom of it. Now, is she going to get killed later because of it, or is she only going to be in the show for 3 or 4 episodes before she's found out? But
keep watching.
You know what? There are a lot of people who read the books, and I'm certain that they might know the answer to it. So if you happen to know the answer to it, just let us know. Just drop it in the comments. We'd be happy to discuss on our next episode. Thank you so very, 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 very much. Okay. Also, someone you just mentioned, Liandrin. Liandrin broke the 3 oaths, and many Aes Sedai now know that she broke the 3 oaths. What will be her fate?
She's dope. I like her. You don't see her coming. You absolutely don't see her coming. She has allies as well. And knows how to maneuver and get things done. She's been around for a while, so she kind of understands how the power structure works. She knows what to say, how to say it, because she rolls up on dang it, I can't remember her name. Say it again.
Lilandra, the red one, Red Aja, towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
Throw Liandrin in a volcano because I'm done with her. At first, it's like okay, and much like Corey, sometimes I am a villain lover. I'm not gonna lie, I really am. Sometimes I straddle the fence, among other things. But
yeah,
but I feel like Liandrin, she, even knowing her backstory and all these things that she has going on, I'm not fooling with her. I just don't like the way she's handling business. Like you for the dark, you for the streets. I'm not rocking with you like that. They can drop you in a volcano, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, let me ask you a question. Oh, I'm sorry. You go, Corey.
I would say she for the streets, but you would think that because she's for the streets and because of the way things are and the reasons why she would be for the streets, that she would be a little bit more understanding. And her actions, like I can't believe that she's done some of the things that she's done, particularly in these last couple episodes.
Well, let me ask you a question. So in this particular episode, we see her. She did two things. Number one, she stood up to the Damane, whatever. She did that. She does not like what they're doing to those women. And before she left, she also untied the ropes of Nynaeve. What was that all about?
I feel personally that it's twofold. She wants chaos, right? She wants chaos. And a part of her, I think, wants there to be justice and for the wrongs to be right, and she knows that it's a messed up situation that she has put those girls in, but she wants to give them a fighting chance. But on the flip, she's the one that put them in the situation to begin with, and she knows all these things are going on, but yet she's not contributing to the development of the issues for the issues to be solved. Right? She's contributing to the dark still, even though she knows all these things are going on, all these things are wrong, and it's causing harm. She's still on her path. So yeah, she's done some redeeming things, but at the heart of it, she's still.
You know what? I have a question for you. Do you think that perhaps she's a double agent working for the Amyrlin seat?
I wouldn't put it past the Amyrlin seat for that, because I could see where it's been found out by her and maybe a couple others that what she's doing, and they gave her an opportunity to redeem herself, or they were going to kill her or whatever. I could see that. I could honestly see that. But my question would be, since this is kind of based on the books, how is this situation handled in the books, or is this just a situation that was created for the show?
No, this is something that happened in the book. It didn't happen with the same level of detail, but it happened in the book. She kidnapped the three of them, and she took them through a waygate, and also she also delivered them to the Damane. Mm-hmm.
Leandrian, she is warring. I'll say that. Like,
mm-hmm.
I don't want to see these women being used this way, but at the same time, I care about my situation more. I want my son to be alive. That's I need what I need, and I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to see that happens. But I see you, and I don't like what you're doing. So here we go. We'll see what happens whenever I let these women get a little bit of an advantage. So still ain't really dealing with her. Don't like how she's moving, but I can't say that if that was my child that I wouldn't do some grimy stuff either.
But at the end, does it even matter though? Because we know what.
And it don't.
Does,
and it don't.
Okay. All right. Let's change the subject just a little bit. We're still dealing with characters. Perrin. So Perrin finds the white cloak and is disgusted when he sees an Aiel is being caged. He does his best to get the Aiel out. How is his particular character changing from season 1 up until now?
I think he's beginning to accept his losses a little bit more, and coming to realize that there is no, going back to what he had. It's time for him to grow and to move on from that, and to embrace this new future that he has, especially with the wolf, with his clan or his people, so to speak. I like his character. He's one of my favorites.
His pack.
Yeah, his pack, so to speak. I love his character. I think he's one of my favorite ones so far.
Okay, hell yeah.
He kind of gives me mid penis energy. Just mid, like, and don't get me wrong, I like his character, but I want to love his character. That's my goal as the show unfolds. I want to be in love with his character. Right now, it's just like, I probably could give it to you, but I'm gonna have a V8. Not quite there yet.
So I'm gonna say this, at least in terms of the books, what his particular character was, unlike the rest of the group, the MS Fielders, he was the one who would stand back and just think about a situation over and over and over and over again, and he would be the one to put his hands on Rand and tell him, calm down. Nope, that's not the way that we want to go. We shouldn't.
So he's a Virgo.
Okay. He was the thinker, right? He was the thinker out of that entire group. He was the thinker. He would always think about how can this situation go bad. And what I'm seeing from him is a character who's saying, I don't really care what the ramifications are going to be. I'm going to do it.
I think he's beginning to accept his losses a little bit more, and coming to realize that there is no, going back to what he had. It's time for him to grow and to move on from that, and to embrace this new future that he has, especially with the wolf, with his clan or his people, so to speak. I like his character. He's one of my favorites.
His pack.
Yeah,
I can totally see that.
I can see that. So if he's a Virgo, do you think Rand's a Leo? Full Leo energy?
I think Rand is a Gemini.
Oh, that's chaos.
Straight up Gemini.
That's chaos.
Ooh.
That's chaos.
Ooh.
But his character is chaos. He is. He really is.
Well, I don't see Geminis as chaos. I see them as
depending on which twin that show up.
You're right. Depending on which one you got.
I see Geminis as people who are extremely intelligent, but at the same time like to have fun. That's how I see Geminis.
I was raised by one.
And
chaos.
Okay. Can't beat experience. So since we're talking about Rand, how has his character changed?
Ooh. Rand was giving him some good
afraid of the power. I want him to embrace it. I feel like he's afraid of it, and I want him to embrace it, to revel in it, so to speak. Like I want a little bit more in terms of him understanding his role, and I just kind of feel he's been a little timid with the power, and I understand it so because he doesn't want to go crazy. But
so at the end of this particular episode, we saw that basically Moiraine came to Rand and she was just like, "Hey, look, we've tried all these different things. Let's try something different because we're about to get caught." And she laid it out. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. And this episode is when he was still betting Lanfear, right? And Moiraine comes in. Was that not this episode? I might be wrong.
Yes, at the beginning of the episode, yes. All right. At the end of this particular episode, that's when Moiraine basically goes to him and says, "Hey, look, we're about to get caught, but we can do something different. You can, go to sleep and talk to her and get her on your side." And to that, Rand basically, there was no pushback. He just kind of assessed the situation and said, "Okay." Has his character changed? So since we're talking about Rand, how has his character changed?
Ooh. Rand was giving him some good
afraid of the power. I want him to embrace it. I feel like he's been afraid of it, and I want him to embrace it, to revel in it, so to speak. Like I want a little bit more in terms of him understanding his role, and I just kind of feel he's been a little timid.
I think I don't know. I see a little bit of back and forth. It's like, okay, I'm following Moiraine into the blind, and then I'm not fooling with her. And now, okay, I don't really have nothing else to lose. Let me just see where this goes. Because you have all of this power, and you really honestly just don't know what to do.
Right.
So I'll just take my chances. So I feel like he's being a little bit more risky following Moiraine, because that's a huge risk, because that moron could get you into anything. Who knows? Anything. Whatever suits her goals. You ain't no telling what you're gonna be into. It's feeling like a red button day. Just push this today.
So you don't think that she has Rand's best interest in mind?
No, I don't. In terms of his preservation, I think ultimately she wants to win, and whatever she needs to do. If all of the friends are dead by the end of the show, but the dark is defeated, I think she would be okay with that. I think that that's who she is. And
but the only way the dark one can be defeated is with Rand.
I know, but along the way, if everyone dies and Rand has to sacrifice himself and thousands of other people, I think that she would totally be okay with that.
I would be okay with saying she wouldn't mind 1,000 other people dying, but she don't want Rand to die.
I'm meaning I just, but again, you know how I feel about Rand. So.
Look, we all like looking at Rand, but
right.
I feel like it's been instilled in her early on about the Dragon Reborn, so I feel like she has a personal relationship with it. So I think she cares about making sure that Rand is good.
Rand, yes. Everyone else, no.
You can start again.
So I have another question going back to what we were talking about at the beginning of this particular episode when we were talking about the Damane. Who is more powerful, the Damane or the Aes Sedai?
I kind of feel like the Damane because...
I'm going to go with the D.
Yeah. I don't think it's the Damane. The Aes Sedai, they can't tap into their emotions.
I wanted to say something so bad, but I was coughing.
I'm sorry, Corey.
No, we got to go with the D. We just got to go with the D.
But I heard what you were saying. Like, hey, the Aes Sedai are more, I guess, structured. Is what that's not the word that you used, but I was trying to hear what Corey was saying. I'm sorry.
What did you say again, Court? What did you say?
We're gonna block us on all platforms.
No, I think it's the Damane. I think because they're more raw because of their situation, right? And
ain't it good when it's raw? Just raw power.
It's the.
I'm serious. Oh God!
And listen, the Aes Sedai, they're so measured and so uptight about everything, and they can't embrace the fullness of their power because they have all these rules and regulations, what they can and can't do, what they will and what they won't do.
Yeah,
do
the three O's.
Right, the O's and all this other kind of stuff. They
I'm agreeing with Corey. I'm gonna go with the D.
The D.
And for similar reasons, like, hey, you got these raw, unfiltered power, untrained, right? Just, I mean, you have these professionally trained boxers, or you can get that ignorant cousin that you got from the country, you know. And if there were no rules in play, who gonna win? You know. So I'm here for the raw and uncut power. That I really do believe that they're stronger. I do.
So they are indeed stronger than the Aes Sedai. And you, Corey, you mentioned something, and oh yeah, you echoed it. The three O's. That's part of the reason why the Aes Sedai, they're limited in what they can do. That's one thing. Time was another thing. Now, in terms of the Damane, that bracelet that they wear, what it does is it forces and that choker that
it's giving BDSM, but yeah.
Well, what it does is it allows the channeler to use their full power. So every single time that they use power, they're using their full power. Most Aes Sedai don't reach their full power until they're later in life. Does that make sense?
A grower, not a shower. Got it. You about to put me out. You about to put me out.
Yeah.
And we did have to agree.
Every time you say something, I cough. Stop, please.
Okay. It's serious. I think I don't know. I see a little bit of back and forth. It's like, okay, I'm following Moiraine into the blind, and then I'm not fooling with her. And now, okay, I don't really have nothing else to lose. Let me just see where this goes. Because you have all of this power, and you really honestly just don't know what to do.
Right.
So I'll just take my chances. So I feel like he's being a little bit more risky following Moiraine, because that's a huge risk, because that moron could get you into anything. Who knows?
Anything. Whatever suits her goals. You ain't no telling what you're gonna be into.
It's feeling like a red button day. So today.
So you don't think that she has Rand's best interest in mind?
No,
I don't
in terms of his preservation. I think ultimately she wants to win. And whatever she needs to do, if all of the friends are dead by the end of the show, but the dark is defeated, I think she would be okay with that. I think that that's what she is. And
but the only way the dark one can be defeated is with Rand.
I know. But along the way, if everyone dies and Rand has to sacrifice himself and thousands of other people, I think that she would totally be okay with that.
I thank you all so very much for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell everyone you know about us, and get into our comments. Thank you all so much.